Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web.
Former President Benigno Aquino III, who championed the Ang Matuwid campaign and scored a landmark ruling against China's aggressive claims in the West Philippine Sea, has passed away. He was 61. Aquino, son of pro-democracy icons the late Senator Benigno Aquino Jr. and the late President Corazon Aquino, was rushed to the Capital Medical Center in Quezon City and died after a heart failure. The former president has battled lung cancer and went through dialysis for his ailment. He recently had an angioplasty. Aquino, known for his simple and humble leadership, was the country's 15th president. Top officials dealing with the Philippines coronavirus disease response received earlier today, June 24, an additional 2 million doses of Sinovac, which is seen to boost the national government's free vaccination program. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III and Vaccine Czar Secretary Carlito Galvez, along with Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno, were at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 2 to receive the vaccine that came from Beijing, China, on board Cebu Pacific Flight 5J-671. The arrival of the 2 million doses of vaccines is expected to boost the vaccination program as the government shifted its focus on those under the A4 classification or the essential economic workers. On Sunday, June 27, the first tranche of Moderna vaccines is scheduled to be delivered to the country. The US-made vaccines were supposed to arrive on June 21 but were delayed due to logistical problems. Once the Sinovac and Moderna deliveries are completed, it will raise the country's total supply of COVID-19 vaccines to 16,455,870 doses. An infectious disease specialist assured the public that all available coronavirus disease vaccines in the Philippines remain effective against a more transmissible Delta variant. According to studies, the Delta variant first identified in India is 60% more transmissible than the Alpha variant first reported in the United Kingdom. During the Laging Handa briefing on Wednesday, June 23, Dr. Carl Hansen of the Philippine Society of Microbiology and Infectious Diseases said the sooner Filipinos get inoculated against the virus, the better. Hansen said that most of the 308 health workers vaccinated with Sinovac's CoronaVac in Indonesia who still contracted COVID-19 only experienced mild symptoms. The expert said people might need vaccine booster shots, especially with the emergence of new variants, but noted evidence on its necessity has yet to be released. On June 21, the Department of Health detected 4 more cases of Delta variant, pushing the total to 17 cases. The Manila Bulletin has emerged as the most trusted newspaper in the country based on the latest findings of the Digital News Report 2021. In the Digital News Report released by the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism, the Manila Bulletin earned a brand trust score of 69% from the survey respondents. The daily broadsheet obtained the highest brand trust rating compared to its print media counterparts. The Manila Bulletin, on the other hand, ranked second most trusted news brand among the 15 media outlets listed in the Digital News Report study. Regarded as the nation's leading newspaper, the Manila Bulletin marked its 121st anniversary on February 2, 2021. The digital news report showed the dominance of GMA News as the most trusted news brand among the local media companies. The television network obtained the highest brand trust score of 74%. The report also found that Filipinos' trust in news increased to 32% compared to 27% from the previous year. Trust in news from social media dropped to 20%. The latest survey conducted last January tapped around 92,000 individuals.
Here is a roundup of news in and around Metro Manila. Let's watch this.
The Sinovac vaccines produced by the government of Manila arrived in the country Thursday morning, June 24, as the city celebrates its 45th founding anniversary. Dumagoso said the arrival of vaccines is a gift for Manileños on the Manila Day celebration. The mayor said the city will aim to deploy all 400,000 doses of Sinovac in the next 2 weeks. The Manila purchased vaccines will be on top of the ones given by the national government. Dumagoso said AstraZeneca vaccines are expected to arrive in September, but he is praying that they may come as early as July. The Quezon City government on Wednesday reported another record-breaking number of COVID-19 doses administered to its residents, with 41,826 doses given to those belonging to A1 to A5 categories, surpassing its own record of 37,234 doses given on Monday. Quezon City also topped Manila as the city in the National Capital Region with a single-day highest number of doses administered. Mayor Joy Belmonte lauded the city's speedy vaccination process, which only took residents less than an hour to complete. The administration of the second dose of the Russian-made Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine to Navota City may be delayed, according to Mayor Toby Tiangco. On Twitter, Tiangco apologized to its residents after the national government announced the delivery of 50,000 doses of the said brand will be deferred to a later date because of ongoing upgrades and latest developments on the vaccine. He assured his constituents that the efficacy of the vaccine will not be compromised based on the pronouncement of its manufacturer.
Now, let's take a look at the latest news in other parts of the country, and here are the details.
Police filed charges against 24 suspects in the improvised explosive device blast that killed Far Eastern University football player Keith Avsalon and his cousin early this month. Among the suspects were teacher Mariel Cañete Suson, the daughter of Rogelio Suson alias Manong and Julio, allegedly a high-ranking official of the New People's Army in Masbate. Suson, along with 23 other suspects, were arrested by the police last June 22 through a warrant of arrest issued by the Masbate City Regional Trial Court last June 18. A case for violation of Anti-Terrorism Act is being prepared against the suspects. Another batch of vaccine shipment arrived in Zamboanga City on Wednesday as the government vaccination program continues, the Department of Health Zamboanga Peninsula announced. DOH Region 6 Assistant Director Dr. Augusto Manolo Alpici said the vaccine shipment the 14th batch received consisted of 35,000 doses of Sinovac vaccines. The said vaccines are for the first and second doses of the A1 to A3 priority groups. Alpici urged those belonging to the A2 and A3 priority groups to submit themselves for vaccination, noting the low turnout for inoculation from the two groups. The first planetarium in Mindanao will be finished by August, according to the provincial government of Misamis Oriental. The planetarium, located in El Salvador City, was initiated by the Department of Science and Technology and the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration. One of the objectives of the said facility is to boost and enhance students' learning in the field of science, especially in learning planets, constellations, and other astronomical objects. Pag-asa hopes the planetarium would spark interest among young people to pursue science-related degrees.
Now for the updates from news around the world, here is that report.
India has declared Delta Plus as a variant of concern on Tuesday after several cases have been detected. The Health Ministry said the Delta Plus variant has been detected in 22 samples from 6 districts in 3 states. 16 of these samples were found in Maharashtra, one of the states hardest hit by the pandemic. According to the Health Ministry, Delta Plus variant or AY.1 was reported to be related to Delta variant. A study showed that it has increased transmissibility, binds more easily to lung cells, and is potentially resistant to monoclonal antibody response. The Delta Plus variant has been detected in 9 other countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Portugal, Switzerland, Japan, Poland, Nepal, Russia, and China. Britain has reported another 16,135 coronavirus cases in the latest 24-hour period, the highest since early February according to official figures released Wednesday. The total number of coronavirus cases in the country now stands at 4,667,870. The Delta variant, first identified in India, is still a major concern in Britain. Scientists have warned the worrying characteristics of Delta Plus variant. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced a 4-week delay to the final step of England's roadmap out of COVID-19 restrictions until July 19, amid a surge in case of Delta variant. Pope Francis had an unusual encounter at his Wednesday audience, meeting a Spider-Man impersonator who usually dons the outfit to entertain sick children. Italian Mattia Biliardita, 28 years old, has been performing in pediatric hospitals dressed as the comic book superhero for the past 4 years. He shook hands with the Pope, who a few years ago was famously depicted as Superman by Italian street artists, and gave him a Spider-Man mask as a present. A former pediatric patient who underwent several surgeries to treat a congenital disease, Biliardita was awarded an honorary knighthood in December by Italian President Sergio Mattarella.
Now for the latest in showbiz, let's watch this.
Fans of Running Man may still be hurting from the departure of longtime cast member Lee Kwangsoo from the show, as it recorded its second lowest rated episode of the year last weekend. According to Korean news outlets, the recent episode of Running Man drew only 5.3% of audience, translating to some 1.81 million viewers. The show's lowest rated episode of the year was recorded last March 14 at 5.2%. Lee Kwangsoo decided to leave the show due to an ankle injury sustained early in the year due to a car accident. In his emotional farewell episode, Kwangsoo apologized to his fellow cast and crew as well as his supporters for making the tough decision. The show's producers decided not to cast a replacement for Kwangsoo to prevent comparisons and said that he will always be a cherished member of the Running Man family.
Here are the latest from Manila Bulletin Sports section. Let's watch this.
Gilas Pilipinas coach Tab Baldwin acknowledged that the way his youth-laden roster performed during the past 7 days in the Clark bubble was something that was beyond what he expected. Baldwin had reasons to be satisfied after Gilas completed the sweep of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers while nearly scoring a victory over China in their tune-up match that followed the competition. In their game against China, Gilas led for most of the way and was on the verge of claiming victory when it squandered a 7-point lead in the final minute. Baldwin said that he is pleased with the way the Gilas members responded and that the team dealt with something different. He also pointed out that there's plenty of work that needs to be done in order for the team to realize its full potential, especially with the Olympic qualifying tournament in Belgrade, Serbia, and the FIBA Asia Cup in Jakarta, Indonesia coming up. Gilas left last night for Belgrade, where they will face host Serbia on July 1 Manila time and the Dominican Republic on July 2.
And those are the news on Web today, June 24, 2021. Happy 450th anniversary to the city of Manila. Mabuhay ang Maynila. God first. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow, or you can log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.